I don't know about you, but when it comes to seeing horses, my first thought is I want to go pet that. But when it comes to kelpies, I would advise you not to. Let's talk about what they are and why you should maybe steer clear. So kelpies are water spirits that can also shapeshift, and they're a piece of Scottish folklore. And while they look really cool and beautiful, they're actually quite cruel and will eat you if given the chance. Arguably the most terrifying thing about them is they have multiple ways to trick you into getting into the water so that they can eat you. The first one and most common one is tricking you into thinking they're a normal horse. The minute you try to ride them or even touch them, honestly, you'll get stuck to them. So they can then drag you into the water, drown you, and then eat you. But if you don't fall for it, they have two other ways they can do it. One, they shapeshift. They can shapeshift into pretty people and lure you into the water that way, or big hairy men that then attack you and drag you into the water. And if none of that works at all, they can also cause huge tidal waves that just sweep you into the water so they can then eat you. All of this to say, if you're near a body of water, I would be careful if you see random horses near it, because it might not be what it seems. Some people say there's ways you can tell between a normal horse and whether it's a water spirit of a kelpie or not, and that's by their hooves. But others say sometimes there are half horse, half water spirits that will really get you. Now, I think another big terrifying thing about these guys is they like to target kids, probably because they're the easiest to trick them into getting into the water. So that's usually what they eat. And to add to that, it doesn't matter if it's freshwater or saltwater. There are stories of them in rivers, in ponds, in lakes, in the ocean, and even the Loch Ness. Actually, the Loch Ness used to have a lot of sightings and stories about kelpies in it back hundreds of years ago. So it really makes you think about whether or not the Loch Ness monster is a monster or a water spirit. But what do you guys think? And what would you do if you thought you saw a kelpie?